Hey everybody, this is Aaron Solari, and for my non-academic presentation, I'm going to be discussing the history of the Boston Red Sox, and I'm going to try and do this in just 15 minutes, so I'm going to try and cover all the main points, um, the rivalry between the Red Sox-Yankees, the curse of the Bambino, some of their greatest players ever, and for a team that was started in 1901 to cover the majority of their history in just 15 minutes is going to be a little bit difficult. So I'm going to kind of breeze through it quick. And like I said, hopefully I'll get to the main points. So to start off, the first thing I want to do is I want to show you a quick video. It's the introduction of the 30 and 30 production from ESPN. It's called 4 Days in October, but I'm going to play it from right here. So here you go.
For Red Sox fans, it was tough waking up every For Red Sox fans, it was tough waking up every morning knowing that they always expected something to go wrong. 4 Days in October isn't just about the 2004 ALCS come-from-behind win by the Boston Red Sox. It's about a transformation of their fan base from the lovable losers and downtrodden fans, Red Sox Nation, to all of a sudden, within 4 days, winners. We chose to tell the story through the eyes of the Red Sox because it's, in our opinion, more romantic that way because they were the victims for 86 years.
Now here's an up-and-coming young player. The name is Ruth. The Yankees have just purchased him from the Boston Red Sox.
Don't do it here at Yankee Stadium. There they go again.
Don Zimmer throws a punch at Pedro Martinez.
They're attacking A-Rod, going at it.
This only heightens the anger between these two teams.
Deep to left. Yastrzemski will not get his home run. Here in Boston, and they have beaten the Red Sox again.
115 pitches on the night. Grady Little is going to stick with his starter.
There's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series.
Boston has written another chapter into their torture.
So that is just the introduction, like I said, but that is a great watch. If you're a Red Sox fan anyway, yeah, it tears me up every time because I remember being a kid watching that live, and it makes me feel really old actually, with 2004 being 16 years ago. So that is a great watch. If anyone wants to, I can give you the link for that, but let's continue on. So here's a brief overview of the Red Sox. They were founded in 1901, and their stadium, Fenway Park, has been where they've played all of their games since 1912. And it's a little picture of me, my sister, and her husband a few years back when I went up there for a game. And Fenway Park, if you've never been, if you ever have the opportunity to go, I would 100% recommend. There's so much history in that stadium, and you can feel the buzz all around it. And it's really something pretty spectacular. And then I have to add 9 times World Series champions, just because the last 15 years or so have been really good in terms of accruing these World Series championship trophies. So for a team that went 86 years without one, winning 4 in the last 16 is something that we're going to brag about. So next is the infamous curse of the Bambino. So this haunts Red Sox fans even to this day. So the little backstory is, after the 1918 World Series, the Red Sox had just won it, and they had won 2 in a row. The following year was 1919. They didn't win, and they decided to sell Babe Ruth to the Yankees, the most iconic player in baseball history, for just $100,000. And this was actually to finance the owner of the Red Sox. He was doing a Broadway play, and he needed money to finance that. So we sold the greatest baseball player of all time to finance a Broadway play. So that is extremely disappointing when you put it in those terms. It sparked the Red Sox-Yankees rivalry, though. A lot of people say that is the most intense rivalry in all of sports. And if you've never really watched it, you will get the sense pretty quickly that those two teams do not like each other. And that goes even deeper than just the teams. The cities do not like each other that much. I'm from Massachusetts, and there's no love lost between New York and Massachusetts, that's for sure. So, like I said, the 1918 World Series victory was their last until 2004, an 86-year drought. And in that time, there were so many incidents that broke Red Sox fans' hearts, which led them to be known as the lovable losers. So during this 86-year drought, and even after it, it seemed like the Red Sox, you couldn't make up how they would lose. They would be ahead all game, all series, and they would somehow, it was like fate did not want them to win the World Series. And it truly felt, as a Red Sox fan growing up in that time during this curse, it truly did feel like a curse. It felt like no matter what we did, no matter what players we brought in, that they were just never going to win the World Series. So the most famous one is the Bill Buckner era in 1986 World Series against the Mets. The Red Sox were up 3-2 in that series, and they were actually only one strike away from winning the World Series and breaking the curse. When a ground ball hit to Bill Buckner, who was an all-star first baseman, he was one of the best first basemen in the game when he played. It was just a little lazy ground ball that went through his legs somehow, and the winning run scored off of that, and the Red Sox went on to lose Game 7. And growing up in Massachusetts, you do not talk about the 1986 Red Sox season. That is still a very, very sensitive topic for every Red Sox fan. And then another one is the 2003 season in the American League Championship Series. Aaron Boone hit a walk-off home run to send the Yankees into the World Series, and he did that in extra innings. And the Red Sox led all game. They led big that game too. So the curse was 100% real. And I was 11 at that time. So it really felt, I believe, I'm superstitious as it is. So when that happened, that just felt like there is no way we are ever going to win a World Series. So a little bit about the Red Sox-Yankees rivalry. Like I said earlier, it began after the sale of Babe Ruth from the Red Sox to the Yankees. It really sparked an intense rivalry. And like I just discussed, was Aaron Boone's home run to send the Yankees to the World Series in 2003. Well, the following year, the Red Sox and Yankees were playing in the American League Championship Series again. And the Yankees took a 3-0 series lead in best of 7. So no team in any professional sport had ever come back from a 3-0 deficit. And miraculously, the Red Sox did, and then they went on to win the World Series that year. And the curse was finally broken after 86 years. And the fact that they did that against the Yankees in that situation just made it that much sweeter. And in this rivalry, there have been numerous fights, to say the least. I actually have a clip for you, because who doesn't like a good fight, of one that happened just 2 years ago. So let me pull that up if I can. There we go.
The bench is cleared after that. And that's why he gets drilled here, and he slams the bat. Now he's making a move, and here he comes on the run, and now fisticuffs as Kelly's being tackled and punches being thrown. The dugout's empty. Here come the bullpens again, and this time it's for real. Unlike the last time, punches and tackles, and we're going to see some ejections after this one. And the Red Sox and Yankees are at it again. Austin getting drilled. just about undressed.
Well, very clear that was in response to the slide at second base by Austin earlier in the game, and this is for real.
So, needless to say, between these two teams, there's absolutely no love lost. They do not like each other, and as a Red Sox fan, I wouldn't want it any other way. And then, so let's bring up this last slide here. So, I've done kind of my Mount Rushmore of Red Sox players. As you can see in this picture here, these are all of the numbers of players who these numbers are retired. So great Red Sox players, and their numbers will never be worn again. So when you think of Red Sox players, you think automatically of Ted Williams. Ted Williams is known as one of the greatest hitters of all time, and he actually, during his playing career, didn't play for 2 years and fought in World War II as a fighter pilot. And he came back to the next season to hit over 400 for his batting average, which is today still the last player to hit over 400 for a season. Next is Carl Yastrzemski. He was an outfielder, and in 1967, he hit for the Triple Crown in the American League, which led the league in batting average, home runs, and RBIs. And that record stood until Miguel Cabrera did it, I think 5 years ago. So that record lasted for almost 60 years. And then Pedro Martinez was a dominant pitcher for Boston, won 2 Cy Young Awards for the Red Sox. Was a major, major character in the locker room. If you want to see someone have fun playing a game, it was this guy. And then David Ortiz, a lot of people know who David Ortiz is. Over 500 career home runs for the Red Sox, and on his way to be a Hall of Famer. And I have a couple of review questions for you guys. If you just want to pause the video, look at them, and try and answer them, go ahead. The first one is, do you think the curse of Bambino is real? Why or why not? So is it just something that Red Sox fans made up to make themselves feel better that they sucked for 86 years? Or was there really some driving force behind it? Like, do you think that players, fans actually believe this so much they spoke it into reality? And then the other one is, an intense rivalry like the Red Sox and Yankees, is it good for baseball, or should they kind of calm it down because so many kids watch it and so many kids look up to these guys? So all the fights in baseball, like, is that good for kids to see, or is there really no point in the game for that? So that is my lesson on the history of the Red Sox. Thank you guys for listening.